Yeah.
It's George.
It's Elaine.
Come on up.
Hey, buddy, listen.
I never heard anything like this in my life. Listen to this.
This is exciting! This is exciting! Huh? Did I miss anything already?
Kramer, get in!
Kramer! Crazy man!
Hey! Sit down. Come on, it's about to start.
Hello, and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name's Matt.
My name is Vinny.
How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
Yes, nice to meet you. I'm sitting right across from you. This is a special Seincast episode.
Second time in Seincast history.
Yes. Does it feel kind of weird being able to
I don't like making eye contact with you right now.
Looking right into my hazelnut eyes?
I can see right into the eyes of the great fish.
Mammal.
Whatever.
Well, this is a treat for me and for our listeners. Maybe the sound quality will be a little bit better this week. But you saw my light was on.
Yeah. I popped in.
You popped in. Why did you decide to surprise me?
Who needs to? I got tickets for Fish in the Dark. We're going mañana.
I'm really excited.
Me too. It's gonna be good.
Great.
Going to the 2 p.m. They're still doing the preview shows. But yeah, we're gonna be sitting in the balcony.
Or not balcony, the
lower box.
The box. You brought up an episode of
the whole
Seinfeld.
reason I chose this particular spot is because it reminds me of the episode when Elaine is sitting with Rob Schneider in the box. They go see, I forget what the show is.
I think it's the Flying Sandos.
Yes, thank
brothers.
you. And she is curious as to whether or not he's lying about his hearing. So she puts in the hearing aid, and then she does a great physical bit. But yeah, we're going to be sitting up there.
I'm so excited. I honestly was not expecting to see the show just because of scheduling and Broadway tickets are just so expensive nowadays.
We're not missing Larry David on Broadway because this is a limited occurrence.
Yes. But you also got a ticket for my wife, which was really
That's
nice
right,
of you.
yeah.
So I actually was thinking not so much of the Rob Schneider scene, but of the beard episode.
That's right.
So Liz will be my beard, our beard.
Is that right? She's the beard, not me?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. Because you're my... Well, anyways, let's move on
right.
here. So we will actually, once we see the show, Fish in the Dark, tomorrow, I was thinking we could maybe do sort of like an impromptu review of the show. We're talking about maybe going to Westway Diner for lunch afterwards.
Which is where the idea of Seinfeld was conceived, or at least discussed between Larry and Jerry.
Yes. But yeah, hope everyone out there listening who's in the New York area can get tickets to see Fish in the Dark because it should be a pretty good show.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Should we discuss a little Seinfeld news?
We have news?
Hey, I got news for you. Great news.
All right, I got news. You ready?
What?
Well, the first bit of news that fell into our laps was this whole TBS issue with the frame rate, I guess. The TBS, if anyone hasn't heard, is apparently speeding up the broadcast a little bit. So it's, maybe 2 minutes shorter than the original broadcast, which you'd find on your DVDs and whatnot. And this is, of course, to make room for commercials. And it's funny that this is being talked about so much right now. I guess that's the internet for you. Things just take off like wildfire. But I would think, I don't have much broadcasting experience, that this has been going on for a very long time.
I would imagine, because the money that goes into advertising, they're going to cut every corner possible.
Of course. And not just advertising, but bandwidth, like they crop it to fit.
Yeah, it's so zoomed in that all the heads are cut off. And
I feel like you're losing at least 20% of the picture. And then
20%? They gets 20% of my ass.
And then with the shorter commercials, it's just, with the shorter episodes, it makes sense. And you're losing scenes for syndication too.
Is there somebody did a side-by-side comparison in a video, right? On YouTube?
Mm-hmm. We'll post that online if you guys haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I mean, people were asking our opinion on it. I'm sure everyone has their own opinion, but I think for the most part, it's not a huge surprise. And I'm hoping that it might be, enough of a push, or at least a push in the right direction to get Seinfeld streaming, properly.
True.
on Netflix or what have you, because I don't think that they would cut corners that much on compression and whatnot. Mm-hmm. there's got to be some, of course.
The nice thing is, though, is that we do have the DVDs as this sacred, our sacred scrolls with all of the, episodes in full. But in a pinch, you have these episodes on TV if you're, I got 15 minutes. I can squeeze in, little Seinfeld.
There's something about those commercials, too. Like getting an actual commercial break that I oddly do love. So maybe I should watch TBS more.
Especially when you're flipping around the dial and then you see the apartment or you see Monks and it's like, hey, go back.
Well, another bit of Seinfeld news, and this is pretty big. This actually just happened, maybe 2-3 days ago from when we are recording this, but there was an SNL, Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary, and everyone from Hollywood was there.
You name it, if they were on SNL, they were at this taping.
And there was just for those of you who have seen it, you don't need to hear me say this, but for those that haven't seen it, just a wonderful back and forth a bit between Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David.
Stop the podcast and go watch it right now, because it's much better than what we're about to do.
Right, but I won't go over it too much in detail other than to say I loved it. It makes me so happy to see just the two of them engage, and for what I would say was a pretty good special. I thought it was a really neat celebration as a whole. That back and forth between the two of them was like the height.
Just riffing and just Larry in a tux going back and forth with Jerry. It was magical.
They were, of course, talking about what Seinfeld, how they had one of the biggest, if not the biggest show of all time on NBC. And Larry, of course, wrote for Seinfeld for a season.
Larry wrote for SNL.
SNL. Yeah, they compared it to, it's like we bought the last 2 tickets to Disneyland before they burned it down.
Meaning they were lucky enough to have this show, become this huge hit, made them rich beyond their wildest dreams. Having said that, Larry was not, was fired from SNL or quit.
And I actually just got to see his skit. That he only got one skit on the air, and it involved an elevator operator and a stool, very similar to the George storyline in season 7. I forget the episode, but it's nice to see just Larry and Jerry, having this screen time together because you could even feel it from the audience.
Oh yeah, they sensed it, and they were in the presence of comedic royalty, just with everybody there. But to see, our favorites, Larry and Jerry. If they did like an Odd Couple show now with the two of them, I'm in. Take my money.
Oh, and one more thing to add from our discussion last week of The Boyfriend, which ran beautiful 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Props to you guys for sticking with that one.
Yeah, I'm sure that was rough for some of you, but Vinny and I forgot to mention that one of our listeners pointed out online that we didn't mention that Carrie's sweater. This is Mrs. Sokol's daughter, who, when she's on a date with George, the sweater she's wearing is the same mohair sweater that Kramer wears in The Sniffling Accountant. And I think we brought it up a few weeks ago when she passed away.
Yeah.
But we forgot to mention it.
And I remarked to Matt that it's so blatant on the screen that you almost miss it, because it's so ingrained to see her in that sweater and then have that sweater come back. But yeah, props to our listener for picking that one out. So we missed that one. Thank you.
And this came from, oh God, how do I do this? MLS in STL on Twitter. So
MLS in St. Louis. So he must be a soccer fan who lives in Missouri. Oh. Maybe. I hope that's it.
All right, that's enough amazing discussion.
That was a little rough.
Breakdown of this week's news. Vinny, what episode are we discussing today?
We will be discussing the 17th episode of Season 3, The Fix-Up, written by Elaine Pope and Larry Charles, and directed by Tom Stronis. It aired originally February 5th, 1992.
And if this is your first time listening, Vinny and I are following the episode order on our DVDs, which can contradict the original air date order, so... Oh, also, hey, we're going to spoil future episodes, so we recommend everyone buy Seinfeld on DVD, watch the whole thing, and then come back and listen to our show. So a little bit of trivia this week, not much. I think right out the gate we should talk about the two writers for this episode. We have Elaine Pope, who has been brought up before, and Larry Charles, who has been brought up many times before. They co-wrote this episode, and it actually came from their own experience setting up two friends. But like in this episode, when the match didn't really work out, they started feeling really guilty and resented the whole thing, and they actually started blaming each other for what had happened. Again, very similar to what happened in this week's show. They pitched this idea to Larry and Jerry, and it only took them about a day or two to write the first draft.
Wow.
It didn't take that long. And also, this episode went on to win an Emmy for Outstanding Writing in a Comedy Series. And really cool bit of trivia here, which we checked out before we started recording. Jerry Seinfeld presented the Writing Award at the 92 Emmy Awards to Larry and Elaine. Apparently, Larry Charles and Elaine Pope were too neurotic to actually give the speech, so they wrote a very brief acceptance speech in the limo ride to the ceremony.
And there were some great bits in this speech. I'm not going to do it justice, so I'd probably say YouTube it.
Oh, here, I'll play a clip right now.
Elaine and Larry have asked me to speak on their behalf as they are too neurotic to handle it. I can vouch for that. We would like to thank the cast and crew, especially Larry David, who without we would not be granted this honor. Lastly, we pay tribute to a man, Jerry Seinfeld, but not merely a man, more accurately, a god. A man of great sexual prowess. A fine actor, most significantly humanitarian. Why, just before the ceremony, a little cripple boy came.
We should note that Elaine Pope had a writing credit for The Truth, which we discussed a few months ago, and we'll see her work again in the Cheever Letters. She has a story by credit for that one.
She also wrote a Murphy Brown. She actually wrote 2 Murphy Browns.
I think we might have made that same comment.
Sorry.
How can we not say the same thing over and over? It's impossible.
I don't know what we said last week, let alone episodes ago.
Well, the Kramer storyline this episode, which I'm sure we'll both say was a little thin.
Yes.
But it is interesting to note that he did have a storyline that was considered for part of this episode. In it, Kramer's friend and one of our favorites, Bob Sacamano, gets fired for giving out the defective condoms, and as a result, Kramer decides to sue the company for making those condoms. And in the last scene, Jerry reveals that the condom company settled out of court, and Kramer was awarded $20,000.
So a couple of things with that, which are kind of interesting. First, why would Kramer be the one to sue the company? Would he have used the condoms that were defective? Because George is the one who had the trouble.
That's true.
So why is Kramer the one going after them? And then if he does win this $20,000, he just won the $17,000 from betting on Papanik, right, at the track in the subway. So now he gets another 20 grand.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Yeah.
All right.
And we also learned that the writers were toying with the notion of making Kramer a millionaire, but then that idea was kind of abandoned later.
Yeah. I don't know if we ever brought that up on our show before, that they were dabbling with that idea, but it was around this time. So is this sort of the lead up to it?
Perhaps. And maybe that's one of the reasons why they cut it, is because they didn't want, Kramer to be thought of as a millionaire. Although it's kind of funny how later on, George will say he falls ass backwards into money, mooches off his friends, has guilt-free sex without dating.
Well, and one other Kramer tidbit that I'm sure the writers, or at least Larry, wanted everyone to abandon was the start. I mean, it's kind of tough to define the exact moment, but the start of the audience applauding when Kramer walks through the door. This episode, it's rampant, I think.
Yes.
At least more so than previous episodes. I think there's a moment in the cafe when he walks into Babu's restaurant. You get some applause.
A pause before he gets that first line out.
Right. But in this episode, it's pretty obvious. And as I'm sure we'll bring up many times, you can see that, I don't know if it's frustration or if it's just kind of like a struggle as an actor to, stay with a rhythm.
I would characterize it as frustration on Michael's part. And actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but for these TV tapings, they'll have comedians or warm-up people come out to warm up the audience, kind of get them, giggling, all fat and giggly, before they start doing the taping so that they're ready to laugh. And Larry would actually tell the warm-up comedian to alert the audience, please do not applaud when Michael enters, because it was becoming this problem. So, a little interesting bit.
I like the idea of the audience just being like, oh, that. I'm applauding.
Who are you to tell me when to clap?
One last bit of trivia, or at least a discussion point before we get into the episode. This is arguably the first time that George sort of turns into this, I don't want to say buffoonish character, but the physical characteristics of George, not just being bald,
but now
stocky.
Powerful.
start creeping into the characterization, the physicality of George, and this comes from Jason.
So as opposed to just making fun of Larry, now Jason's physical attributes become part of the George equation, which and Jason is quoted as saying, he was fair game for this. It wasn't at his expense; it was for the good of the comedy. So he was all for it.
I wonder though, initially, like when you sit down for the table read. You're like, oh, I noticed these jokes are kind of hitting close to home. Like, I'm short, I'm bald, I'm stocky.
Listen, Tubbs.
Well, what do you say, Vinny? We get started?
Yeah.
I tell you, I never really understood the importance of the conductor. I mean, between you and me, what the hell is this guy doing? I mean, do you really need somebody waving a stick in your face to play the violin? Does that really help you out? I can see how we need him at the beginning. Okay? Tap, tap, tap. Start. Okay? I can see how you need that. But once we're going, okay? Once it's all happening, what do we need him for then? I don't see the cellist looking up go, I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And the conductor go, do this, like this, like this. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
This episode feels like it would be a little more appropriate for maybe the Pez dispenser. Just because we have that piano scene, there's no conductor there, but it just kind of reminded me of it. This is one of the first times an opening monologue doesn't tie into the storyline at all.
Yeah, good point. And they could actually save this for the Maestro had they known they were going to do that episode.
Of course, yeah. Well, that's like 4 seasons away.
It's funny. I just saw the movie Whiplash starring J.K. Simmons, and he plays this conductor. Leading this jazz band, so it kind of reminded me of that. But that line when Jerry says, I could see how you need the conductor at the beginning. Tap tap tap. Okay, start. That gets me every time. And again, it's childlike wonderment on Jerry's part. It's like, why do you need this guy waving a stick? How does that help? Oh, okay, like this. Well, I guess to the untrained, musician. But I know that up like it's a count that he does with. I don't know the quadrants and stuff, so I'm coming off as very, I'm sorry.
First apology of the episode. Well, our first scene is a dinner scene. 2 dinner scenes, as a matter of fact. The first one is between Jerry and George. They're out to dinner, and George is complaining about how he'll never meet anybody. It's hard enough to meet a woman you dislike, much less like.
Hey, I have that outlook now.
If anyone would like to dig... Oh, okay. Don't do it. He wants to know why there's so much hostility and why he can't just, walk up to a woman on the street and ask, "Hi, I'm George." And we've got this great moment as that one woman kind of snakes through the chairs and tables, and he just cowers.
And I got to say, that kind of reminded me of the parking garage when Jerry says, "What do you think, Georgie boy?" And Michelle, the Scientologist, walks by, and he's like, "Do I need that? Do I need that in my life? I'm trying to live." So yeah, when a beautiful woman walks by George, he's left speechless.
Right? Or he's caught looking at the sun.
Yes.
Jerry, at one point in this conversation, asks, "Are my nostrils getting bigger?" And of course, this is one of our favorite tropes to Seinfeld, the selfish Jerry that's not into the conversation at all. He's in his own world. But that was a specifically interesting comment, I think, to make, of course, because of Ronnie K. and
the prop comic. In the Fire episode, he asks Jerry, "Are my nostrils getting bigger?" Yeah. And I'd also like to point out in the movie, they use flared nostrils and a big head to describe Jerry.
Good point. Wow, my gosh.
Somebody did their homework this week?
I think so. I'm winging it. We cut over to the Symphony Cafe. Oh, hey, there you go. Conductor, symphony.
Oh, it totally fits.
Hello. Elaine is out to dinner with her friend Cynthia, who we've never met before, but it's very cool to see a little bit of Elaine's crew since, she hates other women and they hate her. Cynthia's complaining that, similar to George, that there aren't any men out there and that the good ones aren't interested confining themselves to one person. And great moment here. She asks Elaine, "Well, was Jerry one of the good ones?" And Elaine's like, "I think he thinks he is."
Yeah, so Elaine's kind of being a straight shooter here.
Mm-hmm. Mediocre guys are available, but they're too hung up on not being good enough, so Elaine suggests she try someone between good and mediocre. But Cynthia says, "Well, I need someone who has nothing, somebody who just appreciates being with her because she's so desperate." And
Do I see a setup here?
Yeah, it seems like it. If it couldn't be more obvious, we cut back to George just destroying his plate of spaghetti.
I love this side-by-side comparison of the male perspective and the female perspective on dating. And it's interesting how both Larry Charles and Elaine Pope wrote this episode. So maybe they provided their specific input from personal experience. But damn, they're really able to nail kind of each perspective on dating.
Yes, it's one of the best, I think, written episodes. Like just coming from directly from the writers to what's delivered on screen, and that balance, you feel almost like a line, like Kramer, separating Jerry and Elaine at one point in the episode. Like there's this perfect symmetry between the two genders this episode,
and the entire episode there are these scenes that they parallel each other. Same scenario, boy girl, and then mixed match.
It's gotten to the point where I'm flirting with operators on the phone. I almost made a date with one.
Oh, so there's still hope.
I don't want hope. Hope is killing me. My dream is to become hopeless. When you're hopeless, you don't care. And when you don't care, that indifference makes you attractive.
So hopelessness is the key.
It's my only hope.
See, I wouldn't really mind so much, but I feel badly for my mother. I mean, if my mother weren't around, it wouldn't be so bad. But I'm telling you, if I'm not married by the time I'm 40, I'm gonna have to kill her because it's the only fair thing to do. I just couldn't put her through that.
Well, at least you're not bitter.
Who says I'm not bitter?
Aren't you too young to be bitter?
No, you can be young and bitter. You're just maybe not as bitter as I'm going to be 10 years from now, but I'm bitter. Anyway, don't tell anyone.
Don't worry, your bitterness is safe with me.
Order me a piece of cake. I'm going to go throw up.
So the character of Cynthia is played by actress Maggie Wheeler, or she also goes by Maggie Jacobson. And I absolutely love this actress. I think the majority of us will know her as Janice from Friends. She did 19 episodes of Friends, but she's been all over TV. She was in 5 episodes of Californication. And it's funny that we're going to find out George says she can do voice over commercials because she did 6 episodes of Archer. She's done Curb Your Enthusiasm. She was in the Palestinian Chicken episode.
LOL.
She did 1 episode of How I Met Your Mother, 12 episodes of Everyone Loves Raymond. She was in It's Like You Know, Peter Melman's show. She played the character of Rachel. We got to watch that because everybody's going to that show. She was in The Parent Trap, 13 episodes of Ellen. So, man, she's been all over the place.
Yeah, she's great. We before Vinny and I start recording, we just chit-chat about the episode, just little things we liked, and this was one of the parts of this episode that we actually just loved. Mm-hmm. I'm not familiar with her work on Friends, even though I know she's a part of that show in a big way. I do love her presence on Seinfeld. She is one of my favorite girlfriends, mm-hmm. which is interesting because she doesn't really have anything funny or weird about her like some of the most memorable ones are. It's not man hands.
True.
It's not, she's too good. She's a real normal person, but that scene that we'll get to with Elaine when they get the back and forth, the Q&A,
yes.
I love her performance in that. One thing about this scene that we just played a clip of, I thought it was interesting that we get this allusion to the fact that she is bulimic.
That's a really dark joke subject to touch on.
Yes, I thought so too. And it's sort of a throwaway.
It's not necessary to the plot.
Not at all. And it's funny because there's that moment in this scene, and then we get a reference to it later with Jerry and George, and it gets a huge laugh.
Yeah, you're right.
But pretty dark. I would agree for this
absolutely.
episode.
And if you recall in the... Is it the library episode?
Is it the one with Babs? You mean the girl?
No, I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking when Jerry and George are talking about the wedgie, and Jerry asks Elaine, "What do girls do? We just tease somebody until they develop an eating disorder."
Hey, there you go. All right, eating disorders. Way to go.
But yes, George dated that model at that restaurant that Babs was a
matron.
Matron, thank you. And he thought she was refunding. Yeah.
Well, the next scene is at Jerry's apartment, and maybe we'll say right now, there's a lot of scenes in Jerry's apartment this episode. Jerry and Elaine are just hanging out, reading the newspaper, like a former couple does.
Yep.
Jerry points out how dirty his hands are, and he thinks they should give it those wet naps, like they do at rib joints.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. That's a good one. Nice work, Jerry.
We can all relate to that reading the paper.
Well, they start talking about their respective nights out with George and Cynthia and how neither of them can find anybody, and they've sort of given up. And great moment here. This sort of leads to the deal. Did you have that imagery?
Yes, they share this look that is very reminiscent of the look that they gaze at each other in the deal when they both kind of have the same thought and arrive at it at the same time.
Same blocking. Their sitting arrangement is the same. Elaine on the left and Jerry watching TV spread out on the right. They realize, hey, maybe we should fix up George and Cynthia, but they argue maybe one is better than the other.
Well, it's funny how Elaine's like, I'm not about to start with George. And Jerry takes offense to that. He sticks up for his best friend, which I kind of found endearing. And he says, because if you think she's too good for George, you are wrong. Dead wrong.
Who is she?
Who is he?
He's George.
She's Cynthia.
So what?
What, you don't think she's beautiful?
I don't know, what's with the eyebrows?
You know what your problem is? Your standards are too high.
I went out with you.
That's because my standards are too low. And by the way, women kill for eyebrows like that. Do you know that? I mean, women pluck their real eyebrows out of their head one by one until they're bald, Jerry. Bald above the eyes. And then they paint in these eyebrows to look like that.
Well, let me tell you something about George. He is fast. He can run like the wind. And he's strong. I've seen him lift 100 pounds over his head without even knowing it. And you wouldn't know it to look at him, but George can bait a hook.
You can really do that?
I love that line of Elaine telling Jerry, your standards are too high. I dated you. And she comes, and just instantly she comes back with, that's because my standards are too low. So, so quick, so witty. Well, one other thing I thought was kind of funny was Jerry talking about George being very fast. He can run like the wind, but he's not as fast as Jerry.
Oh, good point.
When Jerry chooses to run, obviously.
Of course. Well, Jerry and Elaine ultimately arrive at the decision to set George and Cynthia up. And, of course, caveat, they have to tell each other everything.
Full disclosure.
Mm-hmm. So we transition to another point in time after Jerry has told George about Cynthia.
No. Are you gonna do the clip there?
I know you can do it.
Okay.
Well, George, of course, as Vinny was setting up there, is pretty upset. He says it's out of the question, but eventually, he just goes around the corner like a little kid, pouting, and he comes back out.
Well, first of all, he says that's one step up away from personal ads and going after prostitutes. Funny is that later on, I forget what season it is, but he seeks out a woman from the Daily Worker.
That's The Race, actually.
Oh,
there you go.
Small world. But keep in mind, George is opposed to this idea. He goes in the bathroom, turns the corner. What's the first question he asks?
What's she look like?
Yeah. So keep in mind, George focuses on looks first. Men focus on looks first.
Oh, when you compare the two scenes we're about to get into here, you can just tell. It's not so much, that's so George, that's so Cynthia. That's men. That is men and women right there to a T. Again, starts asking what she looks like and overanalyzes every one of Jerry's replies, and he wants to know about the body. Is it nice? Is it good?
Good body. Good body.
Really very nice and good. Personality too.
Good personality.
He doesn't want anyone smarter than...
How could she be smarter than you?
Well, we cut over to Elaine's apartment. And
first of all...
Yeah.
What does he do?
It's important to know how he makes a living.
Why is he not working, Matt?
Well, he he tried to poison his boss.
He got fired. Why did he get fired? Which, interesting, Elaine is kind of tiptoeing around this the subject, but she helped George poison his boss.
Good point. She didn't bring that up.
Rick Ludwin, right? Mm-hmm. Levitan.
NBC exec Rick Ludwin was poisoned by George Costanza. She tries to lighten it, though, by saying, he's a really funny guy.
What does he look like?
Pardon?
What does he look like?
Well, he's got a lot of character in his face. He's short. He's stocky. He's fat.
Is that what you're saying, that he's fat?
Powerful. He is so powerful. He can lift 100 pounds right up over his head. And, what else? What else? Oh, well, he's kind of, just kind of, losing his hair.
He's bald?
No, he's not bald. He's balding.
So he will be bald.
Yeah.
So we have a short, stocky, bald man who's unemployed and tried to poison his boss. Now, why on earth would Cynthia choose to go out on a date with this man?
Well, maybe like the kind of man she's looking for, someone who's so desperate to be with her. Maybe she's a little desperate herself.
Let's see how that plays out.
Well, we cut back to Jerry's apartment, and Jerry and George still at it. George wants to know what Cynthia's hair is like.
Thick, lustrous hair is very important to me.
Thick, lustrous hair is very important to me. Is that what you say?
Yeah, that's right.
Just clarifying.
Let me ask you this. If you stick your hand in the hair, is it easy to get it out?
Do you want to be able to get it out, or do you want to not be able to get it out?
I'd like to be able to get it out.
I think you'll get it out.
What about the skin? I need a good cheek. I like a good cheek.
She's got a fine cheek.
Is there a pinkish hue?
A pinkish hue?
Yes, a rosy glow.
There's a hue. She's got great eyebrows. Women kill to have her eyebrows.
Who cares about eyebrows? Is she sweet? I like sweet, yeah. But not too sweet. You could throw up from that.
I don't think you'll throw up. She likes to throw up.
I think Seinfeld has officially hit its stride because that last exchange was just a home run.
Yep.
Dynamite drop in.
Those lines. Is there a pinkish hue? Pinkish hue?
There's a hue, which
irritating.
will come back later when George is talking to Jerry about his engagement. Yeah. When Jerry will ask, "She got the pinkish hue? She got a rosy glow.
Yeah.
You're gonna have gorgeous kids."
But yeah, as an overall, it's obvious. Cynthia is concerned. Well, about his well-being. Like, well, how does he support himself? Is he a good person? And he's like, well, what does she look like?
It's all looks.
It's all looks.
And then what does Cynthia do is just a mere afterthought after all that.
So we cut back to Elaine's apartment, and Cynthia asks if George has ever been married or has been close with someone, and Elaine says he once spent a weekend with someone.
Do we know who that woman was?
I don't know, but that seems very, not naive, but just inexperienced. We know George has dated women.
Yeah, but I was going to say, yeah, I agree. It implies that he's never been in a long-term relationship. If he, you know what I mean? If he went away for a weekend with somebody.
Right.
George is in his mid to late 30s, and it's debatable whether or not he's gotten to say I love you. That there's continuity issues with that.
Watching this episode the first time, when Cynthia asks that question, has he ever been married? And of course, we know George never gets married in the proper Seinfeld universe. But it is just incredible to think of him as one day being engaged to someone. It just doesn't seem like George at all.
All right, let's take a short break.
Larry David is coming to Broadway. He's starring in a comedy he wrote called Fish in the Dark. Time magazine says, forgive us, we're having difficulty curbing our enthusiasm about this. Oh, I see what you did there. Very clever, Time magazine.
Larry David in Fish in the Dark on Broadway February 2nd.
Okay, we're back.
So we're at Jerry's apartment once again. It's probably been a few days later. George is telling Jerry how well his phone call with Cynthia went. Lasted 20 minutes. He even threw away his notes in the middle of it. Even raving about the timbre, or is it timbre?
I think it's timbre. Do you think he talked about how he was really good in going in reverse in his car? Or did he have an apple while he was on the conversation?
Good point. Was it the phone message that he had a real tough time talking to someone on the phone? Maybe that's because they were breaking up.
No, it was when he was trying to talk with Carol and he wanted to ask her out.
Right. So it's just funny because I can never tell if George is good on the phone or not. Because as we do know, he has notes when he talks to his parents.
But when does he say, I'm unbelievable on the phone?
That's this one.
At the date, they should just say, okay.
Yeah, he says he says that, dates should just have two phones right at the table, just talking into them.
Maybe that's why he'd be good at dating a convict, because you have to talk through them through glass with those phones. Now, this is when George says, why don't you tell me about her voice? She could do voiceover commercials. I have additional information on Maggie Wheeler's voice work. She's done the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She's done a show called Dweegans and Leprechauns, Dr. Dolittle 3, Kim Possible, Justice League, and the new Batman Adventures. She played fake Harley Quinn. Oh. So she's done a lot of voice work, and she does have a very unique voice about her.
Oh, absolutely. Elaine walks in, and very happy to see George, excited. She wants to know... George wants to know what Cynthia told Elaine about him.
She said you're getting together Saturday night.
Which is all she said, and sort of burst George's balloon.
What a turn.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'll go on the date, but that's that. And then Kramer comes in.
Hey. Do you know my friend Bob Sacamano?
Oh, the guy from Jersey.
Yeah, he just got a job at a condom factory, notice? Look at this. He gave me a gross.
What are you going to do with all of them?
Oh, well. Come on, take some, Jerry. Grab them.
No, thanks. They look like they came out of a cereal box.
Hey, come on, Elaine. Here, take half a bag. And I got it.
Half a bag? What am I, a hooker? Anyway, they look kind of cheap.
Oh.
I'll take one. It's possible.
So now, forgive me if I'm wrong here, but is this the first mention of Bob Sacamano?
I think the first mention was the heart attack when...
Oh, yes.
My friend, Bob Sacamano. My name is Bob!
Okay.
But there's been another one, I think, in there somewhere.
Okay. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to keep track of all the occupations or hijinks that Bob gets himself into. Because he had a hernia operation. We know that. He sells hats down at Battery Park when Jerry befriends him. His dad can get deals on Willard personal tip calculators. So let's
Sacramento
just...
Senior.
Thank you. Let's keep track of all the things that Bob Sacamano does.
Sure. Regarding this whole, condom factory or whatever, there was an early version about him elaborating, I guess, on the types of condoms.
Yeah.
Do you have any info on that?
Yeah, these included French ribbed, raised pleasure dots, and glow-in-the-dark condoms. Which, for a primetime sitcom, the discussion of condoms at all is kind of risque. But to even go into detail back in '92 about the types of condoms,
It's funny. This episode definitely has this undertone, not undertone, but
there's pregnancy, there's talk of missed periods, condoms,
and a hint at even abortion.
Yeah.
When George talks to Cynthia later. Yeah, there's a lot of, not taboo, but just those topics I don't think you would see on most 1992 sitcoms.
Let alone a comedy.
Well, we move on to a little bit of stand-up.
The problem with the condom is still buying them. I think we should have like a secret signal with the druggist. That you just walk into the drugstore, you go up to the counter, he looks at you, and if you go like this, he puts them in the bag for you. That's it. Show up there, you put your little shaving cream, your little toothpaste, How are you today? Have a nice day. You too.
This makes me feel so good that a man in his mid to late 30s still has those anxieties, or at least is familiar with them. Because I remember those days when...
What days, man? What days?
I was sweating bullets. I'd walk around. I'd buy other items.
Yeah, you got to do a lap and be like, who's in the store that's going to see me?
Buy toothpaste, some deodorant.
Yeah, you wedge them down underneath all your other items.
Yes, it's not the last item, but it's like second or third to last.
Is there a self-checkout aisle in this store?
Well, we're back at Jerry's apartment. Jerry and Elaine are on the phone, and I love this. This might be the first time we've seen the, what do you want to call it, a split screen?
Yeah.
Between two people on the phone. This will be explored even more. I think you get 3 people on the phone in one episode.
And then they slide back and forth with the call waiting as well.
Right. Now, we've brought this up before. Certain scenes on Seinfeld aren't filmed in front of the audience. Usually the scenes that are outside, obviously, or if the set is too big to accommodate an audience, they have to just show them a clip of it to record their laughter. But this scene was shot all of it was shot in Jerry's apartment, and everyone had like a prop phone.
So they did it like a play to show to a live audience.
And I am pretty sure I have a behind the scenes photo of this of all the actors together with their prop phones. So there's another call, and Jerry takes it. It's George. He's gotten back from his date with Cynthia, and Jerry's like, well, hey, let me get rid of Elaine. You can tell me what happened. We cut to Elaine, and she tells Jerry, hey, Cynthia's on the other line. Let's, talk to our friends, and we'll reconvene later and share what happened with each other.
Remember our pact. Full disclosure.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, look, I'm going to tell you. But I made a pact with Cynthia. We swore we were not going to tell you and Elaine.
You can tell me. I'll vault it.
It's in the vault?
I'm locking the vault. What? Come on.
We had sex.
Oh, my God, you had sex. How did that happen?
I don't know. I closed my eyes and made a move.
At your apartment?
Yeah.
She didn't stay over?
No, she left. But listen, you can't mention any of this to Elaine. Cynthia will kill me. We made a deal.
Oh, my God.
He was uncomfortable because it was our first time, so he felt he would perform better if we did it in the kitchen. What? He says the kitchen is always the most sociable room in the house, and he was serious.
So? How was it?
How good could it be? My head was on a hot plate.
Wait, I got another call. That must be Jerry.
Oh, don't you tell him any of this.
Yeah, okay. Hello?
So, what'd she have to say?
What did he have to say?
He said they had a good time.
Her too?
Oh, good.
Anything else?
Nope. You?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. You?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess everything is under control.
Yeah. Okay, then.
All righty. Good night.
Good night.
So at this point, Jerry received a call from George while he was on the phone with Elaine. So he was able to click in.
Yeah.
Now,
Call waiting.
Now, what's the deal with that 2-line phone that he gets from Kramer later on in the outing? So he already has call waiting.
He does have call waiting.
Is that different than the 2-line phone?
I don't know how it works on a rotary phone. I remember we had a 2-line or 2-way phone growing up, and it was a cordless. I'm pretty sure. Or if it wasn't cordless, it had a cord. It just wasn't rotary. If that makes sense.
Right, well, I thought I was onto something there, but
obviously not.
Okay. So George and Cynthia had a fix-up. They had their first date. They had sex on the first date, and then she did not stay over. Is that where we're at now?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. And was this the first mention of the vault?
Yeah, I think so. At least
one of the first mentions.
Yeah, we might have had it in an earlier episode. We're terrible
to keep track here.
Remembering all this stuff. I'd like to think this is the first mention, and it's interesting that it comes from Jerry, not Elaine, which I for the most part I feel like is an Elaine term, just because the combination. I love George's bedroom. This is the first time I think we're seeing it.
And he's in that bathrobe.
He's in a bathrobe, and I like when he's first calling Jerry, and he's like, "Hey, it's me," and he's like chewing on the string,
on the cord.
Love the bedspread. Love the DC superhero poster on the wall. It's just, it makes so much sense that George is a child.
Yeah.
In a big way.
And it stays that way pretty much throughout the entire series, because when he works for the Yankees, his whole bedroom is decked out in Yankees paraphernalia. He's even got the Yankee bed sheets when we see Frank in bed with him. So yeah, George is young at heart. So now Elaine gets a beep in, and it's Jerry clicking in.
Jerry.
and Cynthia says, don't you tell him anything. So she's very concerned about what Jerry thinks about this situation.
Well, no, I think she knows because it's going to get to Jerry, and then it's going to get to George.
I see.
I think Cynthia's sort of aware that this group is going to... She doesn't want all this stuff to get back to George, essentially.
I'm finding out from experience, though, that...
It always gets out?
Yeah, it's inevitable. But yet we still worry about it, still fixate on it.
Either through mutual friends, right? Yeah, it's always that risk. Mm-hmm. My risk was always dating people I worked with for a long time. That was, I don't know, works out for some people, but Vinny's shaking his head. Yeah, so in the end, Jerry and Elaine stay loyal to George and Cynthia and don't share what they heard.
That's nice. They stay loyal to their friends.
Yes.
And I point this out every time it happens. Forgive me, but another one of those roller coaster deliveries from Julia when she says, all right, well, I guess everything is under control. I like that. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Next scene, still at Jerry's apartment. Some other day, George is racking his brain trying to figure out what he did wrong with Cynthia. He's left 3 messages and hasn't heard back. He feels cheap, violated, which don't want to get into gender stereotypes too much, but I feel like you don't hear this from a lot of guys. You know, it seems like, just in my mind, that it's typically the guy that would leave.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, bam, wham, thank you, ma'am. Bam, wham? Wham, bam? Is it wham, bam, or bam,
It's
wham?
11:26.
It just seems like you don't really hear guys, I think, complain about feeling violated or cheap. Mm-hmm. It's usually, on the other side of the aisle.
So it seems like George, actually cared for this. Like, he really cared about her to be this upset over the events that are unfolding.
Part of me wonders, though, it's not that he cares about her so much. I think it's more of a pride issue. Like, for once, he might be on like the shoes on the other foot, so to speak. He's maybe feeling a little, I don't know, he's getting a taste of what it's like to be with a guy. or maybe I could just see George doing the thing that what Cynthia did, essentially. So Jerry's getting pretty upset, which again ties into what you were saying earlier. Jerry really cares about George this episode. Mm-hmm. He really wants to defend him. He thinks it's disgraceful. There's the wham bam, thank you ma'am comment.
Sir, whatever.
He actually tries to call Cynthia. Which what?
Yeah, what's he going to say? And George, they start wrestling for the phone. Don't you call her. I'm going to call her when you leave. I don't care.
This reminded me somehow of like anytime I might have told my parents about something, like, a kid picked on me at school, or a kid beat me up or something, and she's like, I'm gonna call his parents. I'm like, oh no, don't do it.
Yeah, you're gonna make it worse.
George, come fight me. You want to fight?
Jerry, I'm gonna kill you.
You want to
Jerry, George, now stop it.
I'll just call her when you leave. I don't care.
You can't do that. It's none of your business.
It's none of my business.
Hey, stop it, whore. I don't want to hear another word out of either one of you.
Well, tell him to get
And the next one of you that opens up your mouth says something, you're going to have to deal with me.
I bet I know what this is about.
It's about a woman, isn't it?
Yeah, but...
Yeah, you see, this is exactly what they want to do to you. They play one against the other. You can't let them manipulate you like that.
But Craig...
No. I want you guys to shake hands. Come on, there are plenty of women out there for all of us. Let's go. Yes. You see? Isn't that better than fighting? Animosity? I mean, you want to fight with somebody, you fight with me.
As we said earlier, Kramer's involvement in this episode is kind of minimal, but damn, when he's on screen, his energy is electric here, and we get a lot of vintage Kramer. But what a genius storyline for Kramer to give George condoms that turn out to be defective.
Oh, let's go to the clip.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, George, you know those condoms I gave you? They're defective. Don't use them.
What? Defective? How could you give me a defective?
going to use them.
What do you mean you're not going to use them?
Take it easy, you guys. It just run out. Don't worry about it. If anything was wrong, she would have called you already.
I missed my period.
Oh my God.
I am very worried. I am never late.
But he used a condom, right?
I know, but these things aren't always foolproof.
Oh no.
What?
Was it blue?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Just a hunch.
I don't know if we can say it's so Kramer up to this episode, but it's so Kramer to be the one to give George defective condoms and then to be so casual about it. Like, don't use them.
It's genius. Genius writing. And then there's a little insult there to George. I didn't think you were going to use them.
What do you mean you didn't think I was going to use them?
And Kramer has some nice body language in the scene. He looks like little Jerry, kind of strutting his stuff because he stands upright and gets kind of rigid. And now Jerry is forced to become the separator.
Mm-hmm. What is the scene? There's another episode when, it's the Frogger when he's at Monk's with Jerry, Kramer, Jerry, Shlomo, and Slippery Pete.
Yeah.
And they have that little fight about the mail order bride. And they kind of fight. And Kramer kind of does that little Jerry thing. Yeah. He's confined to the booth, but he's just sort of riled up and he's smacking the table.
Kramer also does this dance when he's separated from Mickey.
Yeah.
He's like, "You want to throw? Let's throw."
Next scene. Do you know where it takes place?
Jerry's apartment.
He's struggling with a soda bottle.
Twist off. Twist. It says twist off. Twist off.
Such a weird shot of Elaine as she's just staring at him, confused.
Oh, hi. Soda?
There's already some tension. Like right when Elaine walks in the door, I sense something. Yeah. Something's going on. Something's in the air. And obviously, it has to do with these condoms.
So what's with your little flaky friend there?
They immediately start arguing with each other. Why or why not Cynthia should call George back. And it gets pretty heated. And we're immediately brought right back to the Jerry-George fight scene from earlier.
Another parallel, but now different characters. And now we have Jerry and Elaine at odds with each other. And Kramer's going to come in again and separate them.
Are you calling me a liar?
I'm calling you one if you are one. Are you a liar?
Are you?
Get your finger out of my face.
You get yours out. I was here first.
I don't care.
Get it out. Get it out. Out.
Hey, all right. Hey, come on. Stop. Come on. Break it up. Hey! What's the matter with you? Now, don't you two see that you're in love with each other? I mean, why can't you face that already? You're running around out there looking for something that's not even there when everything that you dream of is right here in front of you. Now, why can't you admit that? By the way, when you see George, give him these. These'll work.
I knew those condoms were defective.
How did you know they were defective?
Because she missed her period.
Missed her period? Oh my God. I can't believe it. I'm a father. I did it. My boys can swim. I can do it.
Part of me thinks it was a little soon to repeat the fight scene, but it works. I mean, I think it has to be close. You can't spread those two things out and maybe draw a connection.
And again, like Kramer is originally he was slow. The character was played slow, always behind the curve. Now he's becoming ahead of the game.
You got any meat?
Yeah, but at this point, he thinks this fight is over Jerry and Elaine being in love, and they're just like, "Really, Kramer? Are you serious?" But
well, he knows that the reason George and Jerry were fighting was over a woman.
Oh,
and I wonder now if, like, I don't know, in Kramer's mind, is it about Elaine?
Are they still thinking about the tape?
Yeah, that would make sense, or the deal even.
Yeah.
But this scene, in hindsight, like when I used to watch this episode, always kind of felt weird because it's so dramatic when she's like, because she missed her period. It's like so, like knock you over the head with the drama. But George's "My Boys Can Swim" line.
And the motion he makes with his hands, they're swimming. They have flagella on them.
That audience applause, that just, I don't know what it is. You can watch it a million times, but anytime an actor just owns the scene and the audience rewards them with that applause.
There's electricity there.
Oh, yeah. Now, what's this about? "My boys can swim" kind of became a catchphrase of sorts?
Yeah, apparently, after this episode aired, it kind of caught on, and Jerry would go out on tour doing stand-up, and people would be yelling this at him from the audience, which I kind of find difficult to believe.
"My boys can swim."
Really? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre. That kind of comes with the territory, doesn't it? Of being not a celebrity, but famous on TV.
I guess it's the equivalent of Dave Chappelle having to deal with "I'm Rick James, bitch" always being thrust at him, and he I think he grew to kind of hate that.
Yeah,
But
I would think so.
I mean, I'm a diehard Seinfeld fan. I wouldn't dare yell something out of his show.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting off topic.
Well, it was funny because we were talking about seeing the show Fish in the Dark tomorrow, and what do you ask or mention to Larry David? Like, hey, Steinbrenner wants a eggplant calzone.
What'd they do for toilet paper back in the Civil War?
Like, just throw a bunch of quotes at him.
Yeah.
Make him really feel comfortable. So we're already at the last scene of the episode, and I guess it just depends on on what people, think of our conversation. Maybe it dragged like it usually does, or maybe it moved fast, but I am just amazed how quickly this episode just flies by. We when we're watching it.
Seamless transitions.
Mm-hmm. Elaine and Cynthia are out to eat at the Symphony Cafe. Cynthia is going on about what happened with George, I guess, after he ran out of Jerry's apartment saying, "My boys can swim." He showed up out of breath, disheveled, said that no matter what happened, or she decided, she can depend on him to support her.
What a stand-up move by George.
Yeah.
That's a really nice character trait for him.
I kind of feel like we're missing this scene. As this episode just moves so quickly, and it's a very tight episode. I kind of wish we saw that climactic, moment where George arrives at her apartment, out of breath, disheveled.
It's a good point. Yeah, he could have had the hair again that was up top.
Of course. Part of me just misses that.
Yeah. No, I agree. That would have been nice for them to show it. I'm also reminded, though, this isn't the first time we've heard George, and the subject of kids coming up, because I recall him saying in Monks one time, he's like, "Boy, I'd like to have a kid. First, you have to have a date first, But yeah, George wants to be a father.
I guess so.
You should see George with this kid.
Here's some more sugar packets. Apparently, Cynthia, despite George making all these promises and being there for her, she told him that she just got her period and invited him in. So all's well that ends well, I guess.
So now George and Jerry enter the restaurant, and we get one of your favorite Jerry gags.
What happened?
Acting.
Very mature.
Which I actually just did today when we were out at lunch.
You don't say.
I did. Vinny and I were out to lunch with my wife, and I went to the bathroom. I came back, and I was limping and going, and my wife's like, "What's wrong?" And I go, "Acting." And she is filing the divorce papers.
Phenomenal.
Right when you think everything is going smoothly, George starts eating some of the appetizers. He's starving and looks like a complete slob, and there you go. He just blew it.
Cynthia was kind of on board with him. She, the nice kiss hello, we ordered the appetizers, and she even made that comment about, we got the best seat in the house. It's right by the kitchen.
Stop
it.
That's something you do as well.
I do like to say stop it a lot to people.
But this, of course, we kind of got a setup with this moment when he's eating the spaghetti in the beginning, right? But It seems almost like an extreme because when you see that shot, George like turns into like an animal. He's like hunched over and just
A ravenous beast, a loathsome, offensive brute. Different character, but it applies.
All right, so it's safe to assume that Cynthia broke up with George.
According to Larry David, the reason why George and Cynthia broke up was because of the way she looked at him while he was eating, like that monster.
I think it's pretty obvious, wouldn't you say? Do you think anyone had trouble, wondering like, oh, why isn't Cynthia back next week?
No.
She would have been an interesting character to have back from time to time.
She could have been somebody that George got engaged to and we saw for a nice long season arc.
I could see that for sure. It's nice to know that at least Friends got some mileage out of her as a sitcom actress because she works really well in that kind of setting.
Yeah.
Just comparing it to her appearance in Curb, which is great. I don't know. I like just some people bring a certain energy to the live studio audience that she does.
I hope you sit down and watch her episodes of Friends because she is phenomenal. Now, this kind of just popped into my head here. This is not going to be the last time that George's eating habits cost him a relationship. Can you recall the other time?
Help me out here. Help me, Rhonda.
I'm thinking the lip reader. George goes to that concession stand. Hey, buddy, there's an invention out. I think it's called a napkin. Now back to Miss Vitalia Valdone.
1 banana, 2 banana.
Whoever is responsible for stocking that concession stand cost George a relationship because he had the ice cream all over his face. And then okay, we'll get to that episode.
Yes,
sorry.
Was there another scene I'm trying to think of? Anytime he's just a real slob. That probably is the best example.
Just trying to think of him and eating.
Don't tell me how to eat.
What does he eat? Calzones.
Yes.
From Paisanos.
The pita pocket protects it from dripping. The pita pocket.
You got a little thing on your lip there.
Well, should we move on?
Yeah.
All right, stand up.
But have you ever fixed anybody up? Why do we do it? Why? You thought they would have a good time. And a little power trip for you, isn't it? Now you're playing God. Of course, God was the first person to fix people up. Fixed up Adam and Eve. I'm sure he said to Adam, no, she's nice. She's very free about her body, doesn't really wear much, and she was going out with a snake. I think that's over, though.
I like that as a capper to the episode. I think it's nice.
Yes, very nice. All of the stand-ups this episode were very appropriate. Very appropriate. You okay?
Any questions?
Should we move on to ratings?
Yeah.
All right.
So, what do you think?
This is one of those episodes that I am loving even more on a rewatch because there's some highlights to this episode. The phone call, the fight scenes between Jerry and George, Jerry and Elaine. My boys can swim, of course, but I never was really drawn to the Cynthia character that much, or what's the actress's name?
Maggie Wheeler.
Maggie Wheeler. She never really stood out to me as someone. Maybe because I always knew her as a staple on Friends. I'm like, oh, here's the actress that will have a bigger role in the future. But I thought she was great this episode. Just a really likable character all in all. Something we forgot to mention, I love Elaine in this episode. We get another great balance between Jerry and Elaine.
Yeah.
We don't really, no one really gets pushed to the side other than Kramer to a degree. But what I love about Elaine in this episode and future episodes leading up till the pilot of season 4, or I'm sorry, the premiere of season 4, is she's pregnant. Yeah. And it's so much fun as a Seinfeld fan to see how they're trying to hide the pregnancy.
Yes.
She's wearing the like a smock when she's painting her apartment. She has a lot of loose-fitting clothes on, again, behind the counter or behind a pillow on her lap. Just love those newspaper. Love those little cheats that on my initial watch I never would have noticed, but now it's kind of fun to pick them out. But yeah, all in all, I think this is a solid ep from season 3, solid ep in general. That's thanks to Elaine Pope and Larry Charles. I don't think you can go wrong with Larry Charles episodes. He's just, again, one of those original 4 that just always delivered gold from my point of view. So ultimately, I will be giving this 9 yellow condoms out of 10.
Are those defective yellow condoms?
Yeah. Right. Let's make them
Safe
defective.
I agree with you in full. I love Maggie Wheeler as Cynthia in this episode. She's wonderful. I still think I'm keep talking about Friends, but she's amazing as Janice. But I'll stop right there. I love the back and forth scenes between the male and female characters, seeing the different perspectives, but then you see them in the same scenarios and they kind of just flip it. Jerry fighting with George, and then Jerry fighting with Elaine. Kramer has to break it up, and then, again, roles get switched around, and then, Jerry has to break up George and Kramer. Kramer's energy in breaking up those fights is incredible, and, my only gripe with this episode is a lack of Kramer, but when he's on screen, he shines, so it's worth it to have him just kind of be injected in little drips and drabs there. I also feel like George's character is so well developed at this point, and it's only season 3, and we kind of already get a sense of what he's about, and you know about a lot of his neuroses, and we get to see something. We're talking about how he's a stand-up guy when he thinks that Cynthia may be pregnant. So that's a nice little addition to the character of George. But he is so it's like we already know him from Adam at this point. But I enjoy this episode from start to finish. So I'm going to give this one 9.5, if you can do that. 9.5 blue defective condoms out of 10.
Before we wrap up, I was taking notes, and I watch the time code as I go along to make sure I'm not writing too much. And yeah, it's all of a sudden it was half over. Mm-hmm. I'm like, whoa, I've only done 2 pages here. So
evidence by this record, this is probably our shortest record ever.
It might be. I don't know.
We'll have to fill it with commercials or something.
Pad it out. But yeah, I don't know if it's just a lean episode.
We mentioned the kind of throwaway plot point of Cynthia being bulimic, There's not a lot of filler in this episode. It's all plot heavy. Everything moves the story forward. Yeah. So there you go.
All right, that's going to do it for us at Seincast. Vinny, could you let everyone know how they can get in touch with us?
Sure thing, buddy. You can email us at seincast@gmail.com. You can like us on Facebook, Seincast. Follow us on Twitter, @Seincast. We also have a Pinterest and Tumblr page. Search for it. And that's it.
Is that it? Is there another social media site we should look into? Maybe Instagram. Also, if you haven't already, please leave us a rating and review on iTunes. So many of you have done this already, and it's awesome. It's lovely to see those, and it really means a lot for us to read them. So hopefully, the more feedback we get, the more likely other Seinfeld fans who want to obsess over a show.
Pour over that minutia.
Hopefully, they'll find out about our podcast. So, what episode do we have for next week, Vinny?
Next week, we'll be discussing the 18th episode of Season 3, The Limo. Hey, Matt, what was that myth you said about the Holocaust?
For now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off. Seinfeld is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC, and is intended for information and entertainment purposes only. The official Seinfeld site can be found at sonypictures.com/TV/Seinfeld. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Castle Rock Entertainment or their respective trademark and copyright holders.
Why even try anymore? There's no sense to it. I'm never gonna meet anybody. I should just accept it.
Oh, yes, you will.
No, I won't.
Yeah, maybe you won't.